Once, long ago, in a land far away, there lived four little characters who ran through a maze looking for cheese to nourish them and make them happy. Two were mine, named Sniff and Scurry, and two were little people, being worse were as small as mine, but who looked and acted a lot like people today. Their names were Hem or How. Due to their small size, it would be easy not to notice what the four were doing. But if you look, of course, about discover the most amazing things. Every day, the mice and the little people spent time in the maze looking for their own special cheese. The mice, Sniff and Scurry, possessing only simple work and brain, but good instinct, searched for the hard nibbling cheese they liked, as mice often do. The two little people, Ham and Hoa, used their brain, feel the random belief, to search for the different kind of cheese with a capital C, which they believe would make them feel happy and successful. As different as little people were, they shared something in common. Every morning they each put on their jogging suit and running shoes, left their little home, and raced out into the maze looking for their favorite cheese. The maze was a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, some containing delicious trees, but there were also dark corners and blind alleys leading nowhere. It was an easy place for anyone to get lost. However, though those found a way, the maze held secret the prudent enjoyed a better life. The mice, Sniff and Scurry, used the simple trial area method found in cheese. They ran out one corridor and they proved that they turned to land on another. They remembered the courage helped the cheese and quickly went to new areas. Sniff would smell out the general direction of the cheese using his great nose, and Scurry would list ahead. They got lost, as you might expect, went off long direction, and often bumped into the walls. However, the two little people, Ham and Hoa, had very complex brains. With their lips in motion, the made life in the maze were complicated and challenging. They realized a more sophisticated method found of cheese, but pretended to be ability to think alone from their past experience, of their ability sometimes clouded by the way look they think. Eventually, in their way, they all discovered what they were looking for. They each found their own kind of cheese one day, at the end of one corridor in Cheese Station C. Every morning after that, the mice and little people dressed in their running gear and headed over their Cheese Station C. It wasn't long before they each established their routine. Sniff and Scurry continued to wake earlier every day and raced through the maze, always following the same route. When they left their destination, the mice took off their running shoes, tied them together, and hung them around the necks, so they then enjoyed the cheese. In the beginning, Ham and Hoa also raced toward Cheese Station C every morning to enjoy the taste new morals waited them. But after a while, a different routine set in for the little people. Ham and Hoa awoke each day a little later, dressed a little slower, and walked to Cheese Station C. After all, they knew where the cheese was and how to get there. They had no idea where the cheese came from, who put it there. They just assumed it was there. As soon as Ham and Hoa arrived at Cheese Station C each morning, they settled in and made themselves at home. They hung up their jogging suit, put away running shoes, and put on their slipper. They were becoming very comfortable now they found the cheese. "This is great," Ham said. "There's not cheese here lasts forever." The little people felt they're happy and successful and thought they were secure. It wasn't long before Ham and Hoa regarded the cheese they found C as their cheese. It was such a large store of cheese, but they eventually moved their home to be close to it and built a social life around it. To make themselves feel more home, Ham and Hoa decorated the wall with saying and even drew pictures of cheese around them, which made them smile. One read, "Having cheese makes you happy." Sometimes Ham and Hoa will take their friends by to say a pile of cheese at cheese station C and point with pride, saying, "Pretty nice cheese, huh?" Sometimes they shared it with their friends, and sometimes they didn't. "We deserve this cheese," Ham said. "We soon had a long hard enough to find it." He picked up the nice fresh piece and ate it. Afterward, Ham fell asleep. He too often did. Every night the little people would arrive home full of cheese, and every morning they confidently returned for more. This went on quite some time. After a while, Ham and Hoa confidence grew into the arrogance and success. Soon they became so comfortable they didn't even notice what was happening. As time went on, Sniff and Scurry continued their routine. They arrived there early each morning, and sniffed and scratched, scurried around the cheese station C, inspecting the area to see if there were any changes from the day before. Then they would sit down and nibble on the cheese. One morning they arrived at cheese station C and discovered there was no cheese. They weren't surprised, since Sniff Scurry noticed the prior cheese been getting smaller every day. They were prepared for the inevitable and knew instinctively what to do. They looked at each other, removed the running shoes they had tied together, hung convenient around the neck, put them on their feet, and laced them up. The minds did not overanalyze them. To the mind, the problem and the answer were both simple. The situation at Station C had changed, so Sniff and Scurry decided to change. They both looked out at the maze. Then Sniff lifted his nose, sniffed, and nodded to Scurry, who took off running through the maze, where Sniff followed as fast as he could. They were quickly off in search of new cheese. Later that same day, Ham and Hoa arrived at cheese station C. They had not prepared attention to the small changes being taking place each day, so they took out for granted they were there. They unprepared what they found. "What? No cheese?" Ham yelled. He continued to yell, "No cheese? No cheese?" And so he shouted loud enough someone would put it back. "Who moved my cheese?" he hollered. Finally, he put his hands on his hips, his face turned red. He screamed at the top of his voice, "It's not fair!" Hoa just shook his head in disbelief. He too had counted on finding cheese at cheese station C. He stood there for a long time, frozen with shock. He was just not ready for this. Ham was yelling something, but Hoa didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to deal with the voice facing him, so he just turned everything out. The little people's behavior was not very attractive, productive, but it was understandable. Finding cheese wasn't easy, and it meant a great deal more little people just having enough to eat every day. Finding cheese was a little people's way of getting what they thought needed to be happy. They had their own idea of what cheese meant to them, depending on their taste. For some, finding cheese was having material things. For others, it was enjoying food health or developing a spare source of sense well-being. For Hoa, cheese just meant feeling safe, having a loving family someday, and living in a cozy cottage in shadowed lane. To him, cheese was becoming a big cheese in charge of others, and owning a big house atop Camembert Hill. Because cheese was important to them, two little people spent a long time trying to decide what to do. All day keep looking around cheese station C to see if the cheese was really gone. Their Snip and Scurry had quickly moved on. Ham and Hoa continued to Ham and Hoa. Hoa started to get pressed. What would happen if the cheese wasn't there tomorrow? We'll make future plans based on this cheese. The little people couldn't believe it. How could this happen? No one was wonder wasn't right. It was not the way things supposed to be. Ham and Hoa went home at night hungry and discouraged. Before they left, Hoa wrote on the wall, "The more important your cheese is to you, the more you want to hold on to it." The next day, Ham and Hoa left their home and returned to the situation C again, but they still eat the pieces somehow define their cheese. The situation had been changed. The cheese was no longer there, but the people knew what to do. Ham and Hoa just stood there immobilized like two statues. Hoa shut his eyes, he tied a coat, putting hands through his ear. He just wanted to block everything out. He didn't want to know the cheese supply gradually been getting smaller. He believed it moved. All of a sudden, Ham analyzed the situation over and over and dimensionally. This complicated brain used a huge belief system took hold. "Why did they do this to me?" he demanded. "What's really going on here?" Finally, Hoa opened his eyes, looked around, and said, "By the way, where are Sniff and Scurry? Do you think they know something we don't?" Ham scoffed. "What would they know?" Ham continued. "They're just simple minds. We just respond to what happened. We're little people. We are special. We should be able to figure this out." "I know we're smarter," Hoa said, "but we don't seem to acting smart at the moment. Things change around here, Him. Maybe we need to change. Do something differently." "No, why should change?" Ham asked. "We are little people. We are special. These sort of things do not happen to us. Or it does. We should at least get benefit." "Why should we get benefit?" Hoa asked. "Because we're entitled," Ham claimed. "Entitled to what?" Hoa wanted to know. "We're entitled to our cheese." "Why?" Hoa asked. "Because we didn't cause this problem," Ham said. "Somebody else did this. We get some and out of it." Hoa suggested maybe we should stop analyzing the situation so much and just get going and find new cheese. "Oh no," Ham argued. "I'm going to get to the bottom of this." While Ham and Hoa were still trying to decide what to do, Sniff and Scurry were already on their way. They went farther into the lane, up and down corridor, looking for cheese, every cheese station they could find. They didn't think of anything else for finding new cheese. They didn't find any some time until they found in an area amaze never been before. Cheese Station N. They squealed with delight. They found what they'd been looking for, a great supply of new cheese. They could hardly believe their eyes. It was the biggest store of cheese Vice have ever seen. In the meantime,